Right now at 5, students in Joplin return to school. We'll see who welcomed them back to class. And we've got another chilly start to the day, at least again by August standards. Looking pretty good as we remain below normal. Look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up. Plus, how you can help your child prevent injuries in sports as school returns to session.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It is now 5 a.m. and 32 seconds. I'm Chris Warner. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday morning. And here we are, halfway through this work week. For some kids, halfway through the school week. Others, it's only day 2. Some of you already in that second week of school. Hope you all having a fantastic year as you return to the classroom. And hopefully you're able to enjoy some of this nice weather, not having to worry too much about being at the bus stop in the morning and having maybe some good recess time out there as well with these warm but below normal temperatures. Let's start with a look outside from our camera on top of the Cornell Complex in downtown Joplin. It is dark outside, and that is simply because the sun has not come up yet, but it will do so when it is prepared to do so, and it will bring us some light. Otherwise, we're looking pretty good. Mostly clear skies in Joplin. We've got just a few clouds here and there. Looking great from 7th and Range Line as well. And as we look at the MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line, looking good too so far this morning. So here's what we're looking at. We're looking at mostly clear skies. Future tracks throwing a few extra clouds out there in our far western counties, and that may be a possibility, but I believe the majority of us are going to have a pretty sunny day as we head into our Wednesday. We'll have that easterly breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour, and otherwise nice calm conditions heading through the afternoon and evening. Quick look outside. It is 64 in Joplin, 64 in Pittsburgh. Remember, average low is 69, so the majority of us are below that point. We've got low mid 60s, a couple of upper 60s. I mean, if you want to count 66 or 67, 67 is more so an upper 60, but still pretty fantastic start to the day. Kids getting on the bus this morning. We are looking at partly cloudy skies, 64, east breeze around 5 to 10 miles an hour when that bus brings them back home. Should be sunny for the majority of us and right around the mid 80s. East wind continuing at 5 to 10 miles an hour. We're going to have clouds clearing out. Again, some of us might have some partly cloudy skies, but I do believe the majority of us will be sunny out there. Average high is 90. We're looking at temperatures once again into the mid 80s. So another beautiful day. Now we're going to be a little warmer on our Thursday, and that's ahead of that summer heat making a return as we head into the upcoming weekend. Break down the details in your full forecast here in just a few more minutes. In this
And they come in, kind of like with the blue flame, and they come in really ambitious and work hard. And I don't want to just leave Goodman high and dry or anything of that nature, and leave times for all the hard work we've done of cleaning up the community to go in the toilet. So it was very good to be able to make contact with him several months ago, and be able to train him for my position. Should be a smooth turnover, and he would know everything he needed just right off the bat, and should be a smooth transition of protecting and serving the community.
Aikens released a statement, which you can read on KOAMnewsnow.com. Also with Aikens comes the city's first canine officer, Rocco, who is a 5-year-old Belgian Malinois. Bass Pro announces more layoffs in their marine division as well as manufacturing plants in Miami, Lebanon, and Bolivar. According to the company, the latter 2 plants in the Ozarks laid off 10% or about 100 workers. Bass Pro cited the, quote, current economic environment and slowing consumer demand as reasons for the layoffs. And now you can stay up to date with the latest news, weather, and sports with the KOAM Plus TV streaming app. It is available free on Amazon Fire TV, Android TV, Apple TV Plus, and Roku. The player is also available on our news and weather apps as well as our website. You can watch the live streaming anytime, absolutely free. All you got to do is search for the KOAM Plus TV streaming app. Lots of great resources there. And back to school continues across the 4 states. Joplin Public School students headed back to class yesterday. Greeters from KOAM and the Joplin Police Department were on hand to pass out treats to kids arriving at Soaring Heights Elementary. victory. The Soaring Heights principal says a lot of work went into making sure the day got off to a smooth start.
We've been preparing for this day since last year, so a lot of people are involved behind the scenes getting ready for our students to be here, and it takes tremendous teamwork. We are one team with one vision, and we are working together because we believe that united we soar, and it's worth it for our kids.
Administrators tell us 420 students are currently enrolled at Soaring Heights. They expect that number to increase to about 450 by the end of the year. And as we're talking about, many families back to school also could mean back to fall sports. And as a parent, you always want to keep your kids safe. But what if your child is a student athlete? KOAM's Tanya Bach introduces us to a young football player who is ready to get back on the field after a broken bone sidelined him last fall.
You just gotta have fun.
The fun is just beginning for Hayden Murray as the fall football season gets underway.
He's ready for football. He's excited. It's his favorite sport, so he's ready to go far.
Hayden's mother, Ashley, says she's excited to see her 11-year-old don a Purple Dragon jersey again this year and hopes it's an accident-free season, unlike last year.
I was just running and then I kind of twisted my ankle, and then we checked it and it was fractured, and it was sprained a few times too.
It was scary because I've never really, he was one of my first kids with a broken bone.
While Hayden's broken bone only benched him for a couple of weeks, injuries like his are a constant concern for coaches.
Even as a league, we have plenty of kids, but at the same point, we're all about giving them a chance to play and having fun. We want kids to come back and play in purple, and if we have a lot of injuries, I don't think a lot of people would come back.
The Junior Dragons Youth League puts a big focus on hydration and teaches kids proper tackling techniques to prevent concussions. But as in any sport, injuries can always happen. Allison Reed is the manager of sports medicine for Mercy Joplin in Southeast Kansas communities. Her best advice for any athlete is to properly stretch and condition.
They get in the weight room and work out with the team and the coaches, and flexibility is a big one, flexibility and mobility. So making sure they're ready for practices and games is a big one to prevent injuries, making sure they're strong enough.
Reed says it's also important to communicate with your team's trainer and coach.
Luckily, I don't think we've had a concussion in our league in the last 4 years, but I think just recognizing the symptoms, getting everybody on the same page, from the parents to the coaches.
A network that's all on the same team.
What are your goals for the season this year?
Just try harder, have fun, and do what I can do the best.
The best is yet to come. Reporting in Pittsburgh, Kansas, Tanya Bach, KOAM News.
Reed stresses the importance of student athletes checking in with their school's athletic trainer as they are the first line of support. Let's look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, the Colgan Panthers hold their second practice of the 2024 football season. Plus, one person is dead, 6 are missing after a luxury super yacht sinks off the coast of Sicily. Well, we've got a pretty decent day out there for us. Another cool start. We'll have another look at your forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns. We'll be right back. Yesterday was day 2 for fall high school sports practices in the state of Kansas. Our 2024 football season previews continue with one of our local schools that put together an undefeated regular season and came within one win of making the state title game a year ago. Colgan has its second practice of the fall season after school gets out yesterday afternoon. Panthers need to replace most of their starting lineup from a year ago. They went undefeated in the regular season and lost at home in the state semifinals. That loss is serving as motivation for this year's Colgan Panthers.
It's a big motivator. I think we went out there and got our punched in the mouth a little bit. We weren't really expecting that. So I think this we just need to really hit everything hard and just expect we're the underdogs.
Huge motivation, no doubt. We're trying to put in work every single day so that this time of the year, we don't come up short. We make it all the way there. That's what we're working towards.
Very fortunate to be at a place like this where, the expectations are high every year, and every group that steps in is expected to, to compete and do things the right way. And this group has really done a good job of taking those high expectations on. And, So yeah, we're really excited about the group and the success that we've had at the JV level the last 2 years. It's not something we take lightly, and I think that goes to show that the kids take it serious and they want to be good when they get their chance.
State women's soccer is gearing up for its inaugural season as an NCAA program. The Gorillas play their second preseason scrimmage yesterday evening. PSU in Springfield taking on Evangel, who competes at the NAIA level. Things got started at 7. Gorillas faced Johnson Community College in their first scrimmage this past Saturday. Neither team has posted a final score from that contest. Same deal tonight. Pitt State's first official game is 2 weeks from Thursday. Over to college football, the future is officially here. Oklahoma State Athletics announced yesterday morning that the Cowboy football team will sport 1.5 square inch QR codes on the back of each player's helmet. This links to the school's NIL fund in an effort to raise money for the players and the program. In Major League Baseball, we're headed to the final month and a half of the regular season. The Royals are in prime position to earn a playoff berth. Cardinals, on the other hand, have some work to do, and they continue digging that hole a bit deeper last night. Redbirds fall to the Brewers 3-2. Their only runs of the night come on a 2-run homer off the bat of pinch hitter Matt Carpenter. St. Louis is now 3 games below 500 after losing 7 of its last 8. Royals lose last night as well, 9-5 to the Angels. Kansas City tied the game at 2 in the bottom of the 4th, but LA scored the next 5 runs to open up a 7-2 lead. Cole Reagans picked up the loss after 5 innings of 4-run ball. This snaps the Royals' 5-game winning streak and brings them 3 games back of Cleveland in the AL Central. Well, still to come, a new study suggests eating red meats can heighten the risk for type 2 diabetes. Plus, get another check of that forecast and when that summer heat returns, when the KOAM Morning News returns. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, coming up on 5:17 on this Wednesday morning, and we are starting with this. This is a live look from the MoDOT camera 20th and Range line in Joplin, and as you can see, we're looking pretty good out there this morning. And from the KDOT camera at 69 and Kansas Crossing, also looking pretty good. Now I'm understanding why I heard laughter from the back. I think I see what might be somewhat amusing. You folks at home probably don't even notice the difference. It's all right. Let's get through that forecast for you. So again, future tracks painting a few extra clouds in our far western counties. It's a possibility, but I do believe the majority of us honestly are going to have plentiful sunshine across the area as we head into the afternoon and evening. We'll have mostly clear skies tonight. Clouds will begin to increase a bit tomorrow morning, and you saw maybe a brief sprinkle or two very early on Thursday. And then outside of that, we are dry. We're a little bit warmer, and we've got those partly cloudy skies with a southeast breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Then we head into our Friday, and although we're going to start relatively pleasant, as you can see, temperatures are expected to climb quickly. We're going to be at or even slightly above average for our high temperatures on Friday, but we still will remain dry. In Joplin right now, sitting at 64. Dew point's not bad. Humidity's not too bad. East-southeast breeze at about 7. And around the area, temperatures for just about all of us, in fact, below normal. Average low is 69. No one is at that point this morning. We're right around the mid-60s across the area. A little cooler in Iola, sitting at 61. A little warmer in Neodesha at 67. So again, not a bad start to the day whatsoever. Heading through the morning, again, a few clouds here and there will be possible. Otherwise, mostly sunny skies. Upper 70s by 11 o'clock this morning. Believe it or not, we're expected to be maybe a degree or two cooler today before we start that warming trend heading into the weekend. Going right about 85, 86 for that high under sunny skies. Some upper 80s possible, of course, a little further south and west. Then we head into the evening. We'll have a few clouds here and there. Otherwise, clear skies through the evening. Low 70s by 10. And another cool one below normal again. Overnight lows down to the low 60s out there. Now, we've talked about the heat that's going to return, and as we discussed yesterday, we'll remind you again today just because we don't want you to forget. We're looking at those pop-up storm chances as we head into the weekend and into parts of next week. So this is why this is a problem. Our temperatures start going above normal. Now we're going back into the low to mid 90s out there as we head into the weekend and into next week. Maybe a system Thursday into Friday drops our temperatures a bit, which would be nice. The problem, though, with the pop-up storms, as you folks at home know, they feed off the heating of the day, they feed off that moisture. And if we have the high enough dew points, high enough humidity levels, once these temperatures start climbing up around the mid-90s, we could be contending with heat index values pushing upwards of 100 degrees. So just keep that in mind. And of course, school districts next week, keep that in mind as well when it comes to recess and outdoor activities. We could be a little bit on the muggy side as temperatures heat back up. That is a check of your forecast. We're back with Health Watch after this. Topping Health Watch this morning, the Arizona Supreme Court has rejected an attempt to block a proposed constitutional amendment on abortion from appearing on November's ballot. Tuesday's ruling comes after abortion rights group Arizona Right Life filed a challenge to the ballot initiative. The amendment would enshrine the right to an abortion in the state up to fetal viability, which is around 22 to 24 weeks of pregnancy. The abortion rights group argued the public was misled about how broad the amendment would be. However, the court found that the description of the amendment is not required to explain the initiative impact on existing abortion laws or regulations. The Arizona Abortion Access Act will now appear on the November ballot as Proposition 139. A new study finds a link between regularly eating red and processed meats and a heightened risk for type 2 diabetes. The study's author says it's the most comprehensive analysis to date to show a link between the two. Type 2 diabetes is a chronic condition that occurs when your blood sugar is regularly too high. If not managed, it can lead to problems including heart disease, stroke, and kidney disease. Experts suggest eating meat less often and striving for a diet high in vegetables, fruits, nuts, and beans, along with regular exercise. Age actually is only a number to some extent. Humans on a molecular level age in two major boosts. That's according to a new study published in the journal Nature Aging. Researchers said people don't actually age gradually. Instead, most molecules in the body, including proteins and RNA, show accelerated changes at the ages of 44 and 60. The findings are based on more than 100 people studied over several years. The bottom line from the study says people getting close to 60 years old should keep a close watch on carb intake and drink enough water to maximize kidney functions. A 22-month-old boy has been in a New York hospital since the day he was born prematurely. Little Nathaniel weighed not even 1 pound then, but as Janice Yu reports, Nathaniel got to go home with his parents for the first time in nearly 2 years.
It's a moment nearly 2 years in the making.
Bye, guys.
The day Sandia and Jorge Flores get to take their son Nathaniel home.
I'm just grateful to hang out with him, and like he's got opinions and feelings.
Letting him wander on in the living room floor, watching a ball game with them. Those are the things I'm looking forward to.
The first 22 months of Nathaniel's life have been spent inside hospital walls, more than half of it at Blythedale Children's Hospital in Valhalla. He and his twin were born at just 26 weeks. His brother died shortly after birth, but Nathaniel, weighing only 13.5 ounces, continued to fight.
He was on a ventilator with very high settings and required a tremendous amount of touch and go changes in his ventilation strategy. And most importantly, he needed to gain weight.
You got that? You hold the O2. Getting to this day was a team effort. Nathaniel's strength, the work of his doctors and nurses, and a lot of preparation by his parents who were able to get ready for his homecoming with the hospital's parent and caregiver training center.
We have a simulated mock-up home environment where they learn how to establish the baby's room, how to care for their child in the home environment, which is very different than the hospital environment.
Sandia and Jorge say there have been ups and downs in their journey with Nathaniel, but they say they never felt alone, thanks to the support of those around them.
We have had probably way too much support. Like, people have held our hands for 22 months, and I think we'll be okay now. I think we're ready.
That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. And again, we've got another below average start to the day out there. Mostly clear skies to start as well. We'll have another look at your forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns. Right now at 5:30, the campus of PSU plays host to a job fair for new and old students. And got another cool start out there, at least for August standards. We've got another below normal day, but those things may change as time goes on. We'll have a look at the forecast, get you out the door coming up. Plus, how a $100,000 will help the Peoria tribe provide meals to kids in need.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It is 5:29 coming up on 5:30 on this Wednesday morning. It is August the 21st, by the way. Here we are almost to the end of the month, and it hasn't felt like August here lately. Not that that's a bad thing. I say that all the time. I'm sorry. Sometimes, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. You run out of fun phrases, but it's not been bad. Temperatures have been warm but relatively pleasant. We got some rain. Unfortunately, last weekend we did have some damaging severe weather out there. Nothing like that on the horizon for us, at least for the time being. Let's take a quick look outside. This is our camera located at 7th and Range Line. I mean, technically it's a little closer to 8th Street, but it's roughly that same area. It's all the same place. And we're looking good, regardless of how close to the street it really is or not. Looking pretty good out there. Mostly clear skies to start the day. MoDOT camera 20th and Range Line looking all right as well. And for anybody who's ever commuted very early in the morning, I'm going to tell you, it is somewhat awkward sometimes to be the only car driving in the entire city. It's very strange. It is just, no matter how long you do it, you never get used to it. Let's take a look at the future track heading into this afternoon. And again, I think it's painting a little too many clouds out to the west. I think you could see some partly cloudy skies at times, but the majority of us are looking at mostly clear, if not just straight up clear skies. We'll have an east breeze at around 5 to 10 miles an hour, and our temperatures today will once again be below normal. 64, both Joplin and Pittsburgh, as we get our Wednesday underway, and temperatures around the region look pretty fantastic as well. Take a look at all these low to mid 60s. Iola still the cool spot at 61. Neodesha was the warm spot, but now you're kind of tied up with a bunch of other communities sitting at 66 degrees. Kids getting on the bus this morning could have a few clouds here and there. 64 with that east breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. When that bus brings them back home this afternoon, we're looking at the mid 80s east breeze, still around 5 to 10 miles an hour, though a few gusts may be possible. Again, the majority of us, I think, are going to be sunny heading into the afternoon, maybe a stray cloud or two, with our highs once again a little bit below normal, punching up to about the mid 80s. It is really going to start to heat up though as we head into the weekend, so that's something we're going to have to keep an eye on. We'll have details in your full forecast here in just a few more minutes. In this morning's top stories, the Peoria tribe in Miami says a new grant of more than $100,000 will increase access to organic and healthy foods for students in their early childhood program. The Peoria tribe in Miami says a new grant of more than $100,000 increases access to organic and healthy foods for those students. The grant will help fund a new garden where they can grow the food and purchase produce from local sources. It will also be educational and teach kids about the process of growing plants while encouraging them to disconnect from screens.
There's a lot of fruits and vegetables that people just don't want to eat fresh. Because they tend to absorb pesticides more abundantly than other things that you could wash easily. And so we're able to do those through this grant and just serve a lot of produce that doesn't have the pesticides to it, that doesn't have weed killers or bug pesticides on it.
The Woodland Academy serves between 60 and 100 meals per day. Students took in a community fair yesterday on the campuses of PSU. The fair gave local businesses and organizations a chance to introduce themselves to students and showcase their services. The event gave students the opportunity to network, build some new community relationships, and save some money.
I think it's a good opportunity to see things, and you also get free coupons to the places if you go later, so definitely save money.
Students also had a chance to get free food and play games at the event. Organizations including local churches, Pizza Hut, military recruitment operations, and a number of others were there for the fair. PSU also held another fair yesterday for students and local businesses. The campus featured a part-time job fair. It was a way to bring together students with part-time employers on and off campus. This casual recruiting event was held inside the Crimson and Gold Ballroom in the Student Center. The city of Joplin announces a new program for new homeowners. The Joplin Homeowner Rehabilitation Program 2, or JHRP2, will act as a part of the city's community revitalization efforts. The program offers qualifying homeowners up to $25,000 for critical home repairs, including roof and siding replacements, HVAC upgrades, and more. To find out more about available locations and to see if you qualify, you can head over to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. The Joplin Police Department yesterday introduced 2 new officers to its force, K-9 officers. K-9 Max is an 18-month-old German Shepherd. Officer Ron Donahue is his handler. K-9 Bolt is a 16-month-old Malinois. This is Officer Adam Brannon's 3rd K-9 over his Joplin police career. He stresses the importance of the dogs as they assist patrol.
We need these dogs on the streets in Joplin. They're used a lot for narcotic searches, tracking of persons, and all building searches for persons if, the call comes that way.
Captain Will Davis says with the addition of these 2 new dogs on the force, they are back to a full K-9 staff. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. The U.S. Secretary of State says Israel has accepted a ceasefire agreement. Plus, Ukrainian troops are continuing their offensive in Russia's Kursk region. We'll have the latest on that. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Topping World Watch, 1 person is dead and 6 people remain missing off the coast of Sicily after a powerful sudden storm brought down a 180-foot sailing yacht carrying 22 people. The Italian Coast Guard continues searching for the missing passengers and crew, but they're having trouble even reaching the wreck. The voyage was supposed to be a celebration, but has since turned into a nightmare. Among the missing is a tech tycoon, sometimes called the British Bill Gates. From New York, Alexis McAdams has more.
Divers resuming their search for 6 passengers and crew believed to be trapped in the hull of a super yacht that sank off the coast of Sicily.
The biggest difficulty is being able to get into the ship.
The wreck lies at a depth far beyond what most recreational divers are certified to reach. Rotating search teams made up of 2 specialized cave divers are only able to work in short 12-minute shifts. Now, the rescuers trying to access below-deck cabins where they think the missing are. Authorities believe the water tornado sunk the ship when most would have been sleeping.
Once inside, we can begin searching room by room.
Among the missing is a British tech tycoon, Mike Lynch, and others, some of whom were part of a team that recently helped clear the 59-year-old of U.S. fraud and conspiracy charges related to the $11 billion takeover of his company. In fact, according to a member of Lynch's defense team who was not on the yacht, the outing was intended, at least in part, as a celebration of that acquittal. The captain of a nearby ship recalls that yacht vanishing.
And we had the other yacht behind us, and a moment later she was gone.
15 of the 22 people aboard managed to get in a lifeboat. Red distress flares guiding a nearby boat to those survivors, including a mom who reportedly held her 1-year-old over the waves to save her.
We took our tender and went that direction and found 15 people in the life raft. They didn't tell so much, they told a little bit how it happened, but they were under shock.
The British government will send a team of 4 marine accident investigators to the site to try and piece together what happened.
King Charles is visiting the survivors of a stabbing spree that killed 3 young girls during a Taylor Swift-themed dance party. The king is set to attend a private meeting with the children who were at the attack as they share their experiences with him. Violent riots in the town of Southport and the rest of the country began shortly after the killings on July 29th. Anti-immigration and Islamophobic rhetoric charged the crowds who protested. It was fueled by misinformation that a Muslim immigrant led the attack. It was the worst unrest seen in the United Kingdom in more than 10 years, and nearly 1,100 people were arrested because of it. Secretary of State Antony Blinken says the focus is now to get Hamas on board with the Israel-accepted ceasefire agreement. Blinken visiting the Middle East for the 9th time since the Israel-Hamas war began, meeting with Egypt and Qatar in an effort to push the deal down the line. There's been added pressure to reach a deal since the killings of Hamas and Hezbollah leaders in Iran and Lebanon. Ukrainian troops are continuing their offensive in Russia's Kursk region. Comes as President Volodymyr Zelensky asked the West for more weapons to help in the fight. From London, Madison Scarpino has more.
Ukrainian troops are advancing further into Russia, taking nearly 500 square miles of territory in the Kursk region. President Volodymyr Zelensky says they have also captured a significant number of Russian prisoners in hopes of exchanging them for captured Ukrainians.
Our defensive actions across the border, as well as Putin's inability to defend his territory from such actions, are very telling.
Russian President Vladimir Putin vowed to push the Ukrainians back, but so far, his forces haven't been successful. And now, Zelensky is asking Western allies to loosen restrictions on long-range weapons to allow troops to strike deep into Russian territory. The White House says while Ukraine's offensive in Russia is necessary, the U.S. won't change its approach.
The bottom line is this war can end if Mr. Putin would stop. He's the aggressor here. He's the one that went into Ukraine, a sovereign territory.
Meanwhile, Ukrainian officials say the restrictions are also preventing their military from fighting off Russian advances in eastern Ukraine. Moscow's forces are also closing in on a key defensive stronghold in the Donbas region. The fighting is forcing more civilians to evacuate their homes.
When we were leaving, there were hits and interceptions in the air. It was terrifying. We barely got out.
And in northern Ukraine, Russia launched a missile and drone attack overnight that hit energy infrastructure. In London, Madison Scarpino, Fox News.
That's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 5:45 on this Wednesday morning. We're starting with this, and that's a live look from the MoDOT camera, 20th and Rangeline in Joplin. Looking pretty good so far. Got mostly clear skies out there. Looking great from the KDOT camera on 69 at Kansas Crossing, just south of Pittsburgh. We are dry, and that's how we're going to remain at least for the next few days. And we've got some pop-up storm chances that are going to be building in. As for the next 3 days, well, I guess today, tomorrow, and Friday, not looking at much going on. Again, I've mentioned it, just mentioning again if you're just joining us. I think Future Track's putting a few too many clouds out west. We'll see exactly how that pans out, but I think the majority of us are going to be mostly clear, if not just plain clear out there with plentiful sunshine today. Another day of below normal temperatures as well. Winds initially out of the east at 5 to 10, maybe some occasional gusts out there. Then overnight, they're going to start to shift out of the southeast, and we'll have a few more clouds on our Thursday, maybe a brief shower or two in the morning hours in our far western counties. So Fredonia, Yates Center, Sedan, Howard, you might see a brief shower. And then outside of that, we are dry. We are going to be a little warmer on our Thursday. Temperatures climbing a little higher, and we'll have those partly cloudy skies. As we head into Friday, though, that's when temperatures really start to warm up, and that's going to be the kickoff of some uncomfortable weather as we head into the weekend. We'll still have that southeasterly breeze out there, but Friday, sunny skies, and that's fantastic. But we're looking at highs going into the low 90s for most of us, and that's, again, going to set the stage for some warmer temperatures, which we'll talk about in a moment. 64 in Joplin right now, east-southeast breeze at about 7 miles an hour. We've got mostly clear skies overhead. Temperatures this morning, all of us still below normal, low to mid-60s as we get the day started, and Iola still hanging on as the cool spot, sitting at 61. As we head through the morning, again, maybe a few clouds here and there, otherwise not a bad start to the day, upper 70s by 11 o'clock, and then heading into the afternoon, again, maybe a few clouds here and there, otherwise sunny skies, highs once again a bit below normal, right around the mid-80s across the region. We'll hold on to clear skies through the evening. Clouds won't really start building in again until after midnight tonight, so clear through the evening, low 70s by 10, another below normal night as well, back into the low 60s. So take it in while you can, because it's not going to last forever, and the extended forecast shows us that. All right, upper 80s on Thursday, so again, a little warmer. Some of us may be right at average, which is 90, so not bad. Little above average on Friday with those sunny skies, and then as we head into the weekend, yeah, here come those mid-90s. However, they come with this, some isolated pop-up storm chances. Now, we need the rain, we know that, but the pop-up storms do two things. They feed off the heating of the day, and they need that moisture out there, so we could be looking at heat index values getting close to 100 again as we head into the weekend and at least the first half of next week. That is a check of your forecast. We'll be back with more right after this. Well, a film depicts what could have happened if Y2K actually took place, and a beloved Hitchcock classic will be back in theaters. Rick Damigella has more in the Hollywood Minute.
Y2K is real! The Y2K paranoia becomes real in a new comedy. A group of teens are terrorized by technology in the aptly titled Y2K. Rachel Zegler leads the ensemble, hoping to survive the most horrific New Year's Eve party, which lands in theaters in December.
Just how would you start to cut up a human body?
A cinematic classic returns to the big screen. Alfred Hitchcock's acclaimed film Rear Window will return to theaters nationwide to celebrate the thriller's 70th anniversary. Fans can revisit Jimmy Stewart and Grace Kelly on August 25th and 28th. Julianne Moore and Tilda Swinton team up. The pair star in The Room Next Door as two former friends who reconnect at a new stage in their lives. This is your first look at the drama, which marks the first English-language film from acclaimed director Pedro Almodovar, arriving in December. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
A high-profile would-be fine art fraud was foiled after authorities stopped a man traveling in Europe seeking millions for a forged painting, masquerading as a work of one of the medium's great masters. Jeremy Roth has today's Take a Look at This.
Investigators in Spain say they busted a suspect trying to smuggle a fake Leonardo da Vinci painting and with paperwork claiming the forgery was worth millions. The man was stopped with the fraudulent work on his way from Spain to Milan, Italy, where officials believe he was trying to sell the painting using not a verification of authenticity, but instead an expired export license, claiming the work was valued at roughly $1.4 million. The painting was examined at Madrid Art Museum, was ultimately ruled a fraudulent reproduction, and the alleged would-be art dealer was arrested. And from a fugazi, that's a fake, to the real deal caught on camera. Officials at the Phoenix Zoo say they were left in disbelief when footage from a mountain trail camera revealed the area's first sighting of an honest-to-goodness ocelot in half a century. Ocelots are a wild big cat about twice the size of a typical house cat and are an endangered species in the U.S. That would explain why this trail cam capture of the ocelot's cameo was not only a welcomed sight, but one that, according to a zoo official, sent chills through their body. Finally, another rare sight, but one that never fails to please, was the annual running of the T-Rexes at Washington's Emerald Downs Racecourse. In front of a crowd of about 6,000, multiple events for men, women, senior, and kid competitors saw calamitous clusters of costume carnivores competing for glory in a dynamite display of prehistoric hysterics, at least one of which ended in an exciting photo finish. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
See, they're cheating, though. They put their arms through the costume. They have to have the T-Rex arms because they can't really clap. Still an incredible race. We will be right back with a little more after this. One food chain is quizzing fans for a chance to score big with free burritos. Chipotle announced on Monday that it is bringing back Chipotle IQ, a trivia game that quizzes people on their Chipotle knowledge, giving those who pass a chance at winning a buy one, get one offer. On Tuesday at 9:01 a.m. Eastern Time, the chain started sending out 5,000 BOGO codes, an hour to the first rewards member to score a 100% on the IQ quiz. Those who get a perfect score will unlock a bonus question. If answered correctly, they can enter to win one of 50 free burritos for a year prizes. Fans can enter once a day, every day, until Thursday, that's tomorrow, at midnight. Doritos introduces a new type of chip fit for space. On Monday, the brand announced its limited edition Cool Ranch Zero Gravity chips designed specifically for space. The chips are bite-sized and designed to keep the cheese dust and crumbs from floating away. The chips are set to take their first mission to space on SpaceX's Polaris Dawn later this month. The brand has partnered with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital for the release of the limited edition product. As part of the collaboration, Doritos has pledged to make a $500,000 donation to the hospital. That's something I never considered, is the possibility of pieces of my Dorito floating away if I ever took them into space. And I wonder if that's actually happened or they just think it might happen. Either way, they seem to have solved the problem. All right, getting out there this morning, we could have a few clouds here and there. Otherwise, a pretty decent start to the day. Be up to the upper 70s by 11 o'clock in the morning. Our highs today, again, below normal. Not significantly so, but hey, it's below normal. We'll go mid-80s, sunny skies, maybe some mostly clear sky, a few clouds here and there. East breeze 5 to 10 with some occasional gusts up to 15 or 20. As we head into the evening hours, still clear skies, low 70s by 10 o'clock. Another below normal night, low 60s, mostly clear. Clouds will start to gradually increase after midnight ahead of a partly cloudy day on our Thursday. Maybe an isolated shower too early in the morning, but it's really less than a 10% chance at this point. Upper 80s, a little warmer. Low 90s Friday, so just a pinch above normal. Then as we head into the weekend and next week, temperatures begin to climb, mid-90s across the area, and pop-up storm chances, bringing the possibility of heat index values close to 100. That's checking your forecast. We are back with more right after this.